Oh, I still can't believe your dreamy ex is here. Now that you know he's back in town, what do you plan to do with that information? Faith's words didn't seem to penetrate Amelia's distant expression. She had been zoning out during lunch and was now poking at her key lime pie, staring blankly into the distance. Faith wiggled her finger in front of Amelia. Hello, Earth to Amelia? Amelia shook her head, forcing her attention back to her friend. Sorry, what? Faith leaned in. Girl, what's up with you? You've been a total space cadet today. Oh my god, are you seeing someone? That's why your head's been so in the clouds. Spill, who is he? Amelia smiled, rolling her eyes. There is no he. Faith, the day I start seeing someone, I promise you'll be the first to know. An elbow nudged Amelia as her best friend scooted in closer to her. Ames, who do you think you're talking to? You may not be seeing someone, but I know that adorable little head of yours is overthinking about something. And my guess is that it starts with a C and rhymes with Arles. Faith knew how close Charles and Amelia were back in the day. He was her best friend, and they were literal high school sweethearts. Amelia must be feeling something after seeing him for the first time in half a decade. Do you still have feelings for Charles? Amelia dismissively waved her hand. He's this big hotshot now. He killed it at that internship with the UN, and you saw how good looking he is in that suit. If he's not already taken, I'm sure there's a line of girls waiting to snatch him up. Her best friend narrowed her eyes at her. Okay, but that didn't answer my question. Amelia let out a heavy sigh. Even if I did still have feelings for him, it's not like my situation hasn't changed. He deserves a bubbly trophy wife who doesn't come with a 5-year-old and baggage. Just then, Faith licked Amelia's forehead. Hey, my godson is the cutest 5-year-old in the world, and any man would be lucky to be his stepdad. Gripping her fork, Faith suddenly stabbed her lasagna. But what I wouldn't give to find Max's real dad and beat him to a pulp for ditching you and ruining your perfect relationship with Charles. Faith clenched her fists. I'd certainly love to see that, replied Amelia. It had been eating her alive that she wasn't able to tell Faith that she had reunited with Max's mystery daddy and was currently living with him. She couldn't wait to see the look on Faith's face the day she learned the man she was plotting to murder was actually a dashing Mediterranean prince. Speaking of the devil, Faith suddenly grabbed Amelia's hand and said the last 2 words she expected to hear out of her friend's mouth. Javier Calderon, squealed Faith. Amelia froze. What? How do you... I mean, why did you say that? Who is that? Girl, Faith replied. You don't know that Spain has a super hot young prince? Amelia's pulse started to race. How did they end up on this topic? Did Faith know something she wasn't saying? Sorry, why are we talking about the Spanish monarchy? Amelia asked, cautiously terrified that Faith had figured out her secret. The prince just relocated to Miami to serve as an ambassador. Faith stole a bite of pie, savoring it dramatically. After swallowing, she finally answered. And Mr. Calderon is going to be the guest of honor at our gala tonight. Can you believe we're about to meet a real-life prince? Good. So her best friend hadn't figured out her secret. Amelia dropped her shoulders in relief. Oh, I guess I don't care much about monarchies. Faith was practically bouncing in her seat. But Prince Javier isn't just any royal. Have you seen his speeches on TV? The man is gorgeous, which means he'll be even hotter in person. Amelia mumbled. He's more arrogant in person, too. She seethed, thinking about the cold, shameless devil that had recently upended her life. Luckily, Faith interrupted her spiraling thoughts. What are you wearing to the gala? Amelia shrugged. Since it's a work event for us and we're not actual guests, I figured I'd just stick to my work slacks and a blazer. Faith slammed her hands down on the table in disbelief. Slacks? Did you not just hear what I've been saying? Hot foreign royals are expected to be in attendance. And more importantly, so is Charles. Maybe Faith had a point there. Although Amelia was just meant to work the event as an intern and had planned to fade into the background otherwise, the thought of running into Charles at the gala made her stomach flutter. Faith continued her passionate plea. It is essential that you dress to impress tonight, and I have the perfect outfit that will look amazing on you. Faith was not lying when she promised the dress would look amazing on Amelia. That evening, when Amelia arrived at the gala, she was absolutely stunning in a floor-length midnight blue gown. The neckline was a tad more revealing than she was accustomed to, but her friend's powers of persuasion were strong, so she agreed to wear it. Amelia stood on the sidelines of the event, and her eyes searched the bustling crowd, hoping to catch a glimpse of Charles. Her heart raced with anticipation, fueled by the desire not only to find him, but also to be seen by him, all done up. For the first time in a long time, she was feeling herself, knowing she looked good. Suddenly, the atmosphere shifted, and the place seemed to buzz with excitement. The prince is here! Someone whispered loudly. Amelia watched as the crowd fawned over the arrival of Prince Javier Calderon. It was surreal to see the man she knew as Max's dad idolized by the masses and swarmed by the paparazzi. In this moment, Amelia realized just how different each of their worlds were. How on earth did a nobody like her end up in his orbit? She thought back to the night they met 6 years ago at a South Beach nightclub and remembered the first time she locked eyes with Javier. They were instantly drawn to each other on the dance floor and didn't separate for the rest of the night. Amelia's mind snapped back to the present, where her eyes were yet again locked on the prince. She'd never seen him in a tux before. She hated to admit it, but he made for a dashing and debonair sight. How criminal for a man so vexing to look that good in a tux. She suddenly thought about last night in his study when she fell into his arms, among other things. Despite herself, she blushed in the crowd. She shook the thought away. Don't be so stupid as to romanticize him, Amelia. The man is royalty. He's light years out of your league. Just then, Faith scurried up to her side, giddy over the sight of the prince. Amelia whispered to her friend, Stop ogling the man. We're here as professionals to work, she joked. Faith nudged her. Shh, I'm busy scripting our future romance in my head. Imagine this. Prince Javier locks eyes with me and becomes so enchanted that he drops his wallet. The next day, I show up at his palace to return it. He personally answers the door in a silk robe and is so grateful to be reunited with his wallet that he invites me in for dinner. But instead of food, we eat each other's faces in a passionate makeout on the dining table. 2 days later, you get an invitation to the wedding of Prince Javier and Princess Faith. Amelia and Faith couldn't contain their laughter as Faith indulged in her fantasy, which earned them a disapproving glare from their boss. Amelia quickly composed herself. In reality, the prince would never answer the front door himself. He has butlers for that, and the security guards around his estate would turn you away at the front gates. Faith turned to Amelia, intrigued. All right, Miss Know-It-All. What makes you the expert on the home lives of Spanish princes? Worried she said too much, Amelia quickly deflected the question. Look, I think he's coming this way. As Javier approached, Amelia felt her body tense up, unsure what a public interaction between them should look like. Does she ignore him? Does she say hi? Oh no, what if he says hi to me, and Faith instantly clocks the resemblance between Max and his father and figures out the secret? Amelia's fears and paranoia were instantly dispelled when the prince walked right past her without so much as glancing in her direction. While Amelia was relieved by this, Faith, on the other hand, was deflated when the romance she scripted didn't play out in reality. On that note, Faith left Amelia to report to her work post. The night was shaping up to be less eventful than Amelia had anticipated. That is, until she took a break from her translator duties to grab a drink at the bar. When she turned around, she found herself standing face to face with the man she'd been eagerly looking for all night. Charles. The second their eyes met, both their hearts stopped. Both of them stood frozen in awkward silence. Finally, Charles broke the silence. "Hey," he managed to say through his love-struck gaze. Amelia smiled. "Hey, yourself." Charles laughed nervously. We used to be more eloquent than this." She chuckled. "Yeah, if you got us in the same room, you couldn't get us to shut up until we started dating. Then our mouths were occupied with other things." She stopped herself. "Oh, sorry, I made it awkward." He shook his head. "It's okay." He smiled, gazing into her eyes. "You look very beautiful in that dress." Warmth spread through her body. "Thank you. It's Faith's. It shows more skin than I'm used to," she said, struggling to think of a conversation. Everything she said came out dumber than it sounded in her head. She took a deep breath and tried again. "You look great too. New York has been good to you." Both their minds swirled with 1,000 things they wanted to say but couldn't. But they were interrupted when a familiar female voice called out. There you are. Charles, found you." Amelia tensed. She knew that voice. Sure enough, when she turned, she saw her half-sister Sophie bounding up to Charles. What happened next nearly made Amelia's soul leave her body. Sophie cozied up to Charles and wrapped her arm around his waist. Amelia could hear her chest pounding in her ears, and a knot materialized in her stomach. Wait, is Charles dating my sister?